Houses by F.S. Flint, 1885 to 1960. Evening and quiet. A bird trills in the poplar trees behind the house with the dark green door across the road. Into the sky, the red earthenware and the galvanised iron chimneys thrust their cowls. The hoot of the steamers on the Thames is plain. No wind. Trees merge green with green. A car whirs by. Footsteps and voices take their pitch in the key of dusk. Far off and near, subdued. Solid and square to the world, the houses stand. Their windows blocked with Venetian blinds. Nothing will move them. Okay, this is a poem by Stuart Flint. He was a poet and a translator. He was a leading member of the Imagist group, the School of Imagism, which was also promoted by Ezra Pound. Flint associated with Ezra Pound, and Flint was very knowledgeable about French poetic techniques. He was a linguist and translated many different things. He was born in Islington. He came from a working class family. He left school when he was 13 and worked most of his life for the Ministry of Labour. So what's this poem about? Well, this poem is about the city. This is a typical Imagist poem where it's using direct, clear language and describing the scene, describing what you can see. And it's giving very clear images, and it's letting us directly evoke the emotions or the feelings in our own minds. Now, the houses. This is houses. This is the city. This poem is describing a scene in the evening, and it's looking at the houses, and it's describing the whole scene. It's describing the link between nature and the houses, that these houses are there are trees behind them, and there are birds singing, and he's looking at the chimneys and the colours and the sounds. He can hear the steamers on the Thames, so the Thames is quite close, and he can see the colours, and he hears the noises, the cars going by, and the footsteps, and the people talking, and the houses are there standing up in the world. They are resisting the world. They are immovable. They're stability, perhaps, in a changing world. That this is an urban environment where the houses are safety. They are something that is unchanging, and they're blocking out the outside world. Evening and quiet. So it's a quiet evening. A bird trills in the poplar trees. These are long, tall trees behind the house with the green with the dark green door across the road. So he's looking across the road and there's a house with a dark green door, and he sees these tall poplar trees behind him. So I like the contrast, this dark green door. The green of the door is saying that the house is almost part of this landscape, but the trees are green, and the house is almost part of nature. Into the sky, the red earthenware and the galvanised iron chimneys thrust their cowls. So at the top of the house there are chimneys, and these are red earthenware, red pottery. And galvanised iron is the grey iron that goes round the chimneys, and their cowl. The cowl is the tube or the covering going up, and they're pushing the chimneys are pushing towards heaven. The hoot of the steamers on the Thames is playing. So we can hear the steamers hooting, and they're moving up and down the Thames, and this is a very clear sound. So we've got the images with the colours and the sounds. No wind. The trees merge green with green. So there is no wind, and the trees are mixing perhaps the green of the door with the green of their leaves with the green of nature. A car whirs by. Footsteps and voices take their pitch in the key of dusk, far off and near, subdued. So you can hear footsteps, people walking, and voices, and these are the same pitch, the same tone as dusk. So it's a very interesting comparison, that the pitch in the key of dusk is the key is the tone, the sound, whether it's high or low, but in the key of dusk, not in a sound. So the footsteps and the voices match the dusk, and they're far off, but they're near, but they're subdued. They're not very loud, so everything's very relaxed. Solid and square to the world the houses stand, their windows blocked with Venetian blinds. And the houses are standing there, they're very solid, they're not going to move, they're square, they are resisting the landscape. And there are Venetian blinds over the windows to block out the outside, to keep what is outside and to protect what is inside. Nothing will move them. These houses are immovable. These are part of the stability of life in a world that is changing. These give order and stability to the people that live in them. So, Houses by F.S. Flint.